So you're thinking about selling all your stuff and putting it all in a backpack and traveling the world, are you? Yeah. Come over here. Let's have a little chat. Let me give you some of the cons first, and then we'll talk about the more exciting stuff. Cons are very likely, unless you've traveled a lot, that you are going to experience mild to severe anxiety, maybe coupled with some panic attacks, existential crises, and other things. You probably don't currently realize, like I didn't, how much stability you get from your normal life, the day to day stuff, your car that you really love, the house that you grew up in, or the apartment you've lived in for a couple years, or the same route or the same job that you've had. You take all that away, all of the sudden, the mind just goes a little bonkers. Or maybe you're just more enlightened than I am. That's very possible. So just be aware of that. Maybe take a baby step. Maybe take a trip with just a backpack for a week, then come back. Try it out. See how you feel before you jump off the cliff. I personally just went for the jump off the cliff method. I'm still here. It wasn't the most pleasant experience of my life for about 6 months, but we did it. We made it. So that's one of the cons. Another one is habits are really, really hard to form while you're on the road. So if you don't already have good habits around regulating yourself, exercise, good diet, and then you just go on the road, it's going to be very, very difficult to form them. I've been a trainer, I've been immersed in health and fitness for over a decade, and I still had trouble sticking to my good habits. And that's coming from someone who's been working out consistently for almost 15 years now. So you're probably not going to be able to go on that weight loss journey while also being in a backpack. Again, maybe you're a beacon of discipline, but it's going to be difficult. Third, you might experience some loneliness. Now, this actually might be a good thing. Maybe part of the reason you want to go on this journey, on this little solo adventure, if you will, is because you feel kind of stuck. You feel a little trapped. Your life feels a little bit too mundane, a little bit too routine. There's a little bit too much certainty in your life, and you're craving a little more vital energy and uncertainty in your life. And that's why you want to go on this crazy adventure and just sell all your stuff and quit your dumb job. And yes, 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 I get it. I get it. But again, swinging from very much certainty to total uncertainty is a lot. You're taking on a lot of risk here. So just be prepared. That said, now let me encourage you a little bit if you're feeling pulled to do this. The first biggest thing connects directly with the cons I've talked about. Most people that are even pulled to do this want to experience more freedom. They feel kind of stuck in life. They feel like life has stagnated. I personally did this because I was chronically sick with Crohn's disease for over a decade. I couldn't really move. I couldn't do what I wanted. I couldn't experience life in the way I wanted to. And I reached this point where I was just like, this is stupid. I want to just do what I want to do. I want to travel around. I want to be free. I want to do what I want to with my life and my time and see what happens when I take away the net. I wanted to experience that uncertainty. You're probably in that situation in some way, shape, or form. Shameless plug, real quick. If you have Crohn's or colitis, I just released a book called The No Bullshit Guide to Crohn's and Colitis. This contains everything I've learned in the last 15 years, along with a complete 10-week course for free included with the book, so you actually implement the stuff that you read in the book. Go check it out. Go pick one up. If you're stuck with Crohn's or colitis, I can't promise a cure, but I promise it will help you. Absolutely. It's the book that 17-year-old me needed to read back in the day. Now, back to the topic at hand. The pros are honestly an inverse of the cons that I listed. Yes, you may experience some sort of existential crisis because you go from total certainty to uncertainty. Yes, all that stuff that you've pushed down, that's been bubbling up inside you, that anxiety, all that gunk in there is going to come bubbling to the surface because your noise level of your life is going to be reduced so much, and the certainty, the habits, the routines of your life are going to be reduced. When that happens, you feel all the things. That can be very unfun, but is very, very good to do. One of the things I would honestly encourage you to do is either have a couple good friends that you routinely call, or they check in on you, or just hire a counselor or a therapist or a coach on this process and just be like, hey, I'm selling all my stuff. I'm going to move into a backpack. Can you talk to me once or twice a week so I don't go absolutely insane? That'd be great. Thank you. Because this can be a real, honestly, like a healing spiritual journey, going and living out of a backpack. Maybe that sounds kind of dumb to you, but I know there's a part of you that's called to do this because you're like, I want more freedom in my life. I want to experience more aliveness. And that is not a bad thing. That little kernel in your soul that says there's more to life than this right now is real. You need to trust this. And if you're pulled to this, if you're genuinely pulled to this, if it's not like, oh, I watched some fancy Instagrammer living out of a backpack and they're traveling the world making $1 million a year, I want to go do that. Yeah, it's not, that's not reality for most people. That's just not how it works. So you're probably going to be couch surfing. You're probably not going to have a whole lot of money unless you're magically wealthy somehow. It's probably going to be challenging in multiple ways. There's probably going to be a lot of lonely nights, a lot of time on planes, a lot of time in airports, a lot of uncertainty. It's not going to be the most easy thing in the world, but it can open you into a version of yourself that you may not ever experience if you stay where you're currently at. So that is the crux of my advice, is why do you want to do this? And if it's coming from a place of, oh, that looks flashy, or that's fun, or I just hate my life, whatever, maybe not so much. But if there's a part of you that's like, I feel like there's more to life than this life that I'm living right now. And the next step in my evolution is pushing me towards this backpack lifestyle, even if it's just for a couple months. I just want to try it. I just want to try it for a couple months, see what happens. I can always return to a normal, boring job or whatever it is that I want to do, but I want to try this and I want to step forward and I want to leap into the unknown. Those leaps, I've taken a few of them in my life, and every single time I've been very, very grateful that I did it. Yes, it was hard in the short term, but in the long term, it produced fantastic results. So that's my advice to you. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.